Hi, this is Mark Birch. The following close analysis of Romeo and Juliet is designed to help you achieve top grades and is based on my study guide, 25 Key Quotations, Romeo and Juliet. I'm going to be focusing on a quotation from the prologue to the play, "A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life." The dramatic function of the prologue supports a key theme of the play, fate. Within the space of 14 lines, Shakespeare reveals the play's plot. The audience knows, before Act 1, Scene 1 begins, the entire course of the narrative. The sense of inevitability that's conveyed by this knowledge supports the references to fate that dominate the play and reinforces Shakespeare's presentation of the power of fate. It also elevates the sense of tragedy, as throughout the narrative the audience will be aware of the doomed nature of Romeo and Juliet's love. Compromising suspense by revealing the plot would not have been a major sacrifice to Shakespeare, as a significant proportion of his audience would have been familiar with the story through its earlier forms, such as Bandello's novella, Brooks's narrative poem, or the now lost play version. The chorus was a dramatic device frequently employed in classical Greek tragedy. It was used to comment on the action without participating in it. By employing a chorus in this context, Shakespeare could be elevating the seriousness and significance of his tragedy. His constructs of Romeo and Juliet are raised to the status of mythical characters from the classics whose futures are determined by fate rather than their actions. This quotation is part of the sonnet that constitutes the form of the prologue. Brooks's poem, The Tragical History of Romeo and Juliet, that Shakespeare used as source material for this play, also begins with a sonnet. Sonnets are conventionally associated with love and so help to convey the central theme of the play. The regularity of a sonnet's rhyme scheme, length and metre also reinforce the theme of fate, given the regularity of the structure conveys a sense of inevitability and a set pattern. The Petrarchan sonnet, that's the traditional sonnet form, frequently exploits the idea of love at first sight, the rejection of a lover, and their resulting melancholy. These themes are all employed by Shakespeare in the play. Star-crossed literally means opposed by the stars. Many Elizabethans believed that the stars controlled fate. Given that the previous line refers to the birth of the lovers, from forth the fatal loins, it appears that Shakespeare is suggesting that the pair are doomed from birth. Fate is against them from their very conception. The word crossed is ambiguous and could be read as an implicit allusion to crucifixion, with its connotations of Christ's sacrifice. Perhaps Romeo and Juliet can be seen to be sacrificial victims of their family's feud. This ambiguity continues in the phrase, "take their life." The most obvious interpretation is that this makes reference to the death of the two lovers through suicide, yet the phrase could also refer back to the birth of the characters from the fatal loins of their warring parents. This binary opposition between life and death is frequently represented by Shakespeare throughout the play, as are many other oppositions which convey the intensity of the conflict between the Montagues and Capulets. Okay, ta.